Hello, I'm Jason with MathTutorDVD.com, and today we're going to use the TI-89 calculator to solve equations just like we were doing in the last section, except in this section they're going to be equations that involve trigonometric functions, so sine, cosine, tangent, things like that. The good news is it's really not any different than what you've already been doing. You go over here into the algebra menu, and the solve function is going to be exactly what you're going to use. So you're really going to use the same thing if you're solving regular old algebraic equations that you're going to use if you're solving trigonometric equations. So let's say we wanted to solve the simple trig equation sine of theta is equal to 1. So we want to find all angles where sine of theta is equal to 1. So sine of theta, we put sine like this guy, and we're going to use, we could use x if we wanted to. We could, in fact, we'll do that in the next example. But for now, since we're dealing with angles, let's go ahead and put theta in there. You can use anything for the independent variable that you're solving for. When we're dealing with angles, I like to use theta just to remind me that I'm dealing with angles. So sine of theta, close that off, equals 1. And so those of you that have taken some trig know that this is a pretty simple equation. Basically what we're asking the calculator to do is find all angles where the sine of that angle is equal to 1. So if you think about your unit circle here, the only place where an angle is going to give you the sine is going to be equal to 1 is going to be up here at the top of the y-axis, so pi over 2 radians. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, and all multiples of that angle as you go around the unit circle. So pi over 2 radians, and you go add 2 pi more radians and 2 pi more radians and keep coming back to this top of this y-axis right there. So we need to put a comma and tell it what variable we're solving for. So we'll go ahead and put theta back in here again and close it off. So we put the equation, it's a trigonometric equation, and we've got the variable. We go ahead and hit enter, and it spits this complicated looking thing out. What we have here, it tells us theta is equal to 2 times this something rather n1 times pi plus pi over 2. What you need to understand when you're dealing with this calculator is anytime you have an equation that involves trig function, there's a decent likelihood that the answer you're going to get is going to involve this ampersand n1, and more complicated ones you might have ampersand n2, ampersand n3. Basically this is just, you can just sort of erase the ampersand and the 1 and think of it as n. The answer to this equation is 2n pi plus pi over 2, and this is exactly what we just said verbally we should have, where n